Every one of us sitting in this room today probably has somebody sitting right next to them that has been incredibly too long since we told them how much we loved them and how much we cared. One of my daughters a few weeks ago asked me, she said, "Dad, every time you say goodbye, you always make sure you tell me you love me. Why is that?" I said, "It's very simple. Because I don't know that I'm going to get to talk to you again. I don't know that right now is not the last time that I'm going to get to say, I love you." And in this world that is so fast and so moving, and things happen at a rapid pace, I want to make sure that you know that if today is the last time you ever talk to me, that I love you. Each one of us should take about 5 seconds here and tell that person next to me how much we care about them. Because I guarantee you, Julie would love that.
I love you, Lucille. Love you guys. You too, Gaylord.
All right. You too. Okay, you too.
The guy next to you is a real blessing. Don't tell him I said so.
Okay.
Did I handle that all right?
This time.
You know, as we look forward to 9/11 every year,
Nice to know you.
I love the t-shirts that say, "We will never forget."
We will never forget.
We will never, ever forget. But we also must remember that a journey of 1,000 miles in the wrong direction starts with a step in the wrong direction. We are at incredibly difficult times right now in the United States. We're in the worst economic times of the last 62 years, but more importantly, I think we're in a moral and an ethical time in the United States. I think history is going to judge the United States between 2008 and 2015, and there are times that I frequently think that it's not going to be a great judgment when history looks back on us. We are at an interesting time, and we are at a crossroads. We're at a time when we have to make a choice and we have to make a decision between, do we adhere to the old ways that have proven right, that have made us the great country that it has been for the last 200 and some odd plus years, or do we try and move forward in a direction that just doesn't feel right, in a direction that just seems to have no common sense to it, seems to have no security in it whatsoever. See, I don't care what you do to me. I care what you do to my kids. I care what you do to my grandkids. You know, I'll go, doesn't make any difference. I'll go dig a ditch, I'll go work 5 jobs, I don't care. But I want my kids to have a better life. I want my kids to wake up in the sort of country that our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers settled here, because America is the great melting pot. It's made up of people from all nations, of all creeds, of all colors, of all everything else. They're Americans because they chose to be Americans. They're Americans because they wanted to live the sort of life and leave the bad life that they have in order to have the promise of a better future. They're Americans because they died, many of them, to give me the right to stand up here and say, I'm not sure we're right, guys. There are many countries across this world that if people were standing up saying what I'm saying, I wouldn't make it out the door. There are countries in this world that if the wife walks next to the husband, she's committing a crime and can be killed for it. She has to walk behind him. She can't look at him. You can't even look at his eyes. Those are all wrong things. Those feel wrong to me as a person. Those feel wrong to me as a Christian. Those feel wrong to me as a moral, ethical person. We need to make sure that we protect and recognize those things that are changing. Because we have to protect the old, we have to cherish the old, and we have to realize that we have a better life for our kids because of what we do. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, you know, one generation plants the trees, the next gets the shade.
Amen.
We have to plant, and we have to keep planting, because we haven't provided a lot of shade for our kids coming up. Whether we're talking about everything from economic and financial stability, whether we're talking about protections, whether we're talking about freedoms, whether we're talking about the right direction morally, whether we're talking all of those things. We have to recognize that each one of us has a child or children that we are responsible to. And if you're not responsible for somebody, take responsibility for somebody. That's what we do. That's what we do as people. That's what we do as good people. That's what we do as Christians. We take care of each other.